Hello, English language learners. Welcome. Good to see you. So many of you were already waiting. So hello, Imran, Sahreen, Ashish, Vishal. Good to see you, everyone. So thank you for the ones, those they attended my yesterday's Zoom session. And sorry for the ones, those they were not able to connect due to their internet issues. And then some of you didn't check your emails, right? And some of you were confused with the time because I noticed around when it was after like India's 9 o'clock, some of you were waiting for me in the Zoom session and we were done by that time. And I was like, okay, they didn't check the exact time. So the exact time, Indian time, was 6:30 p.m. Saturday, 6:30 p.m. And I sent the invitation to about, I will say, 80 students. Yes, 80 students. But guess how many students joined the session? I think 8 or 9, because many of you, I think you are getting confused with the time. So now I decided when I will send you the Zoom invitation, I will not add the Zoom time, because then you get confused with that time. Because as you know, I live in America, in the East Coast, and you are in India, and our timings are very different. So I will try to keep in mind next time I'm going to delete the time from the Zoom invitation and just will have that link where you can click and enter the password. That will be more easy. Okay, so good to see you, Sandeep Chauhan, Vishal, Suraj Singh, good evening. Amisha Mishra, good to see you again, Amisha. Tariq Anwar, Bashir Wafa, wow. So yeah, I saw your message, Bashir. I'm good to see you back again. I hope you are feeling good because, yes, that COVID-19 is scary, right? Uh, Today, I don't have a Zoom session now. So the Zoom session, I just did one session yesterday, because frankly speaking, my time is very valuable. But I just send the invitation and you don't show up, then it's very disappointing for me. So that's the reason I just decided that I will be doing the live Zoom session only once a week. And let's see how responsible you are. Then I might gonna change my plans, right? Because we can always modify or change or whatever we want to do, we can, work on our plans. But I cannot do everything by myself. It's your contribution too, because the sessions are for you. And if you are not even checking your email, then I don't know what's the other way to involve you in the Zoom session. In other words, I will say, okay. So I don't know. I always send the invitation to many. And another thing is, if you already used like 2 sessions with me, then I am not sure if I will be sending you the invitation, because there are many new students and they want to join my session. So sometime I see if I have enough space, and I will say, okay, I hope I can able to accommodate these many of students. Then I send the invitation to some of my old students, also the ones those they started the Zoom sessions with me. but it's not like a guarantee that you all will be receiving the invitation. I'm sorry about that. I hope you understand. Now, today's lesson, I changed my, what you say, what's that? Oh my God, I forgot the name. Can you imagine? The slide which I showed you the lesson today. Today's lesson is about figurative speech. I hope many of you already know some kind of figurative speech, and I want to check your background knowledge as I always do. You know that I love to interact. So the very first thing is, if you ever heard this word figurative speech or figurative language, and if you know any kind of figurative language, I want you to write down the names of the figurative language in the comment section. Names, not just figure speech. What are the different, like there are like about 20 types of figurative speech. But the most common ones are very few. So if you know any, simile, metaphor, and personification. Okay, so 3. Good. Yes, so simile, metaphor, personification are very common, I will say. But there are some more, and those are also very common. But as you know, we always learn the information in chunks, and I will be teaching you 2 kinds of figurative speech. We will be practicing, and first we will find out, and we're gonna do practice together. Then I might gonna give you a mini quiz about it. Okay, so if you know more, alliteration, excellent alliteration. So the first one is simile, the metaphor, and personification, alliteration, yes. I didn't ask you the definitions or the examples. I just want to know the names. But it's good, Vishal, if you know already. Onomatopoeia, excellent, onomatopoeia. So maybe some of the words, the figurative language words, I am saying, like I am pronouncing it differently because I am using American pronunciation. So we say onomatopoeia. And I don't know what you say in India. In some countries, I will say in European countries, sometime I heard this word onomatopoeia, something like that. But in America, we don't say that. Yes, the spellings, if you look at the spellings, the spellings are like a P-O-I-A, where you say, if I read this way with all the spellings in it, it sounds like onomatopoeia, something like that. But when you pronounce it, it's onomatopoeia. And I know even in my physical classroom, this word is hard for students to pronounce. Simile is very easy to say. Metaphor is also easy. Personification, sometime, yes. Then I say person, say it personification, personification. Alliteration, right? So then onomatopoeia, right? So that's the way you say these words. Onomatopoeia. Okay, which place of America do you live? I live in the East Coast. I am in the capital. Okay. Bikram, ma'am, why you don't be live regularly? Bikram, I work. YouTube is not my profession. I started this channel because I want to help students, but I have a full-time job. So whenever I have a time, I show up. So I hope you understand that. Okay. And moreover, it's your time, it's your evening, my daytime. So our schedule, I will say the time-wise, it's a little different. So It's because I can do some time maybe in the evening, because that's the time when I'm free, but it's your early morning, right? Maybe you're 4 o'clock or 5 o'clock, and then I know many of you not going to wake up that time. So that's the reason. But in these days, I will have my summer break for more than 2 months, because we have a very long summer break in America. So I will try my best to be live more, okay? All types of sounds are called onomatopoeia. Yes, sounds, yes. Yes, okay. Hyperbole, excellent. Yes. Oxymoron, yes. Apostrophe, yes, yes, yes. You guys know a lot. So I want to know one more thing before I start this, because as I mentioned, there are like 20 types of figurative languages, like figurative speech. We say it figurative language actually, so it's I always say figurative language, because we don't say figure of speech in America. We most of the time, the most common word is figurative language. But I want to know, if you are a student and you will have exam and you have a figure of speech so what kind of figurative language you expect in your exam? Okay, I want you to tell me, because then we can focus more on those kind of figurative languages instead of just using all 20. Okay, I know simile is very common. Okay, I want you to help me, please. English is not good. Could you help? Why not? English is such a sweet language, and it's so good to learn. I mean, to not send the negative message to your brain, okay? Okay, so let's start. And I know many of you are on a higher level, because you all are on different levels, your English language levels, I mean. So, but I will be starting from the basics. So Vishal, you asked me question yesterday, what is basic English? So basic is when you start from easy, right? And the more easy is basic, the more you go higher, it's you are moving towards the more advanced level English, right? So that's the basic, and then intermediate, and then advanced. But when you are learning basic, the language is more simple, and the inquiry, like for example, the questions are also mostly on identification level. I hope you understand. Identification level means where you are just kind of like identifying the information, like what, where, when, who, identify, find this, kind of like a very simple. And those are, the questions are mostly, I will say, on the memory level. So they are low level thinking skills questions. When you are on a basic level, you are kind of learning the information with mostly the memory level, where you are just pointing the things or identifying the things, in other words, I will say, or categorizing the things. Okay, so the more this answer will be more clear to you when you will be practicing with me even in today's activity. I will show you, because I will be starting the figurative language from basic, and then we will be doing a very little, I will say maybe 1 or 2 examples where we're going to have a little bit higher level thinking skills. But in these lessons, I am not going to touch the very advanced level, but if there will be demand, then I will do that, but not today's lesson. Okay, so today's lesson is mostly basic to little bit advanced, I would say intermediate level. Okay, okay. So different and indifferent. So different is In means not, right? So in is a prefix. Bikram, in is a prefix. So when you say indifferent, that means it's not different. It's the same, right? So different is not same. So in means not. So in other words, it's same. In other words, it's same. Okay. Okay. Yes, basic is the most foundation level, which will be powerful to communicate with other people. It's not only for, yeah, I will say communication, because when I talk about communication, it's not only speaking, because communication involves all modes of communication. Okay, it could be in writing, it could be in gestures. Gestures mean when you do the actions, or it could be in a speaking, right, oral language, or it could be a communication, can be over the phone, or I mean, there are so many different ways we communicate, right? Okay. Okay, so I will be starting from the basic. So I'm going to share my slide with you, and then we will be moving ahead. And I hope this lesson will go for many days. Okay, so we're going to start from very simple. I know many of you already know the simple one. The first one is the figurative language. What do you think? Which one is the first one? Let's see if anyone can guess. The most simple one. Okay, so I already asked you this question. What is figurative language or figure of speech? So you can say it figurative language, or you can say it figure of speech. So you already told me, you already gave the answer to this question, right? Okay, so now we're going to talk about, I am giving you here the most common figurative languages: similes, metaphors, hyperbole, personification, alliteration, onomatopoeia, oxymoron, irony. What do we already know? So we already answered this question also. So let's talk about the figurative language. If you, because figurative language is when author is a person who writes something, right? Author can write novels, author can be a poet, right? You say poet, right? A poet also. So the authors are the ones who they write something, and we all are authors. Do not think that authors are special. No, if you are writing anything, you are author. So yes, so author use words or expressions that have different meaning from its literal expression. Now, what does this mean? Literal. So literal means when you are just talking about the simple way, right? If I say you are very bright students, right? So I'm just saying that you are smart, you are intelligent, you are paying attention, right? So you are very bright student. So that is a literal way to say something. That means I am not using any colorful language in it. I am not comparing you with anything. I'm just saying you are very bright, you are very smart, you are very intelligent student. It's a very simple way to say that, right? Okay, so now we're going to see the difference between the colorful language, the figurative language, and the literal language. Now, so most of you know the definition. When we compare, so it's a comparison. So what is the definition? It's a comparison between two unlike. Now here, unlike, like there was a one question from Bikram where he was asking me the difference between different and indifferent, right? So un is also means not, Okay, in is also means not, it's a prefix, and un is also means not, and it's also a prefix. I hope many of you know prefixes, suffixes, right? And if you have both, it's affixes. So we're going to talk about another time, but right now I'm just saying, so comparison between two unlike, that means it's a comparison between two things. They are unlike. So they are what? They are same or they are different? They are different, right? So things using words like or as. So when we use like or as and we compare two things, that is a simile. In other words, I always give you definition in a simple way also. So in other words, similes are figure of speech that compare two things that are not actually alike. Okay, using simile in your writing can help you create an interesting picture for the reader, because we use colorful language for the imagery, right? Imagery means when you are talking about something, the image comes in your mind. So for example, even in my yesterday's Zoom lesson, we were describing the wedding, garden or something, and we have a second part where we will be describing the other picture. But we didn't use a lot of figurative language, but we used many adjectives in that. And adjectives also describe, right? And when you use more adjectives, you are creating imagery in your mind, because then you can see with your closed eyes what someone is trying to tell you. Okay, so that is the other way to say it. Now, if you look at this picture, which picture matches the meaning of the simile? The lake was like a mirror. The lake was like a mirror. So if you see these two pictures, which picture is matching with the simile? The lake was like a mirror. First of all, what we are comparing? Which two things we are comparing here? Let's see if you can answer this. Okay, Vishal said A. Okay. And Vishal, what we are comparing? What two things are comparing? Okay, Ajay, you are as intelligent as William Shakespeare. Okay. Amarjeet is B. Okay. Can we not talk about Shiva Bhatti? Can we not talk about Zoom session right now? Can we talk about this at the end of the session? And pay attention on this slide, please. Yes, Imran, B. Yes, B. Maybe both. No, Himani. Lake and mirror. Yes, we compared lake with mirror. And if you see, the B is the correct answer, right? Because you can see the picture, you can see the reflection, right? You can see the reflection of the trees and the clouds in the water. So that is like a mirror. So what you see in the mirror, you see yourself, you see your reflection, right? So we can see the shadow of the trees and the clouds. Yes, everything, whatever you can see on the ground, everything is visible in the lake also. That means lake was like a mirror. Excellent. Yes, yes. The mirror, yes, you can look at in the mirror and you can see yourself, and you all see the mirror, right? I think most of you, very first thing in the morning when you wake up and go to the bathroom and you look yourself in the mirror, right? Yes, clouds like snow. Okay, yeah, clouds looks like a snow. Excellent. Yeah, clouds are like snow, right? Yes. Or you can say one more example here for clouds. You can say clouds are as fluffy as snow. I don't know how many of you ever experienced the snow, but snow is very fluffy. And we get a lot of snows wintertime. Okay. So in winter, if there will be snow, I'm going to take you outside in the snow. Okay. We're going to, yes. So we get a lot of snow, especially, but this summer, due to, I don't know, global warming, we didn't get a lot of snow, but sometime we get like a 3 feet, 4 feet, something like that. Yes. Yes, yes, good, excellent. Okay. Or even the clouds can be compared with one more thing, and that is something you, everyone might have it in their homes. I think so. The clouds are like soft, like let's see, and this thing, you, most of you, I will say, you have it at your home. The clouds are as fluffy or as soft like a cotton. Yes, clouds are like a cotton. Yes, cotton, not cotton, cotton. Okay, yes. How can I get like as a negative speaker? Native speaker. Oh, okay. You mean native speaker, not negative speaker. Okay. You accidentally wrote down. I know. I know many of you know the spellings, but sometimes when you are typing quickly, then you make mistakes. And it happens with me too. That doesn't mean I don't know how to spell, but sometimes when I am typing quickly, and then sometimes that I will say innocent mistakes, right? We make the mistakes, but I know what you mean, native speaker. With practice, Bikram, you look like an intelligent woman. Okay. You look like an intelligent woman is not a simile. Okay, this is a very good example of using like, but this like is not a simile, Sandeep. This is not a simile because you are not comparing me with anything. Okay. So simile is when you compare two things, different two things. Okay. So that's not a simile. You use like just the way it's like, I will say in this, in other words, I will say this is a literal meaning. It's not a colorful figurative language. Okay. Yeah, her face is like a moon. Her face is like a moon. So then here you compared her face, a woman's face or a girl's face like a moon. So Bikram, Shiva Bhatti, can you tell me if this means something beautiful? So that means her face is beautiful, because mostly if you think about moon, we admire moon, right? We like to look at moon because moon is very beautiful, especially when it's a nighttime and then there are stars and the moon, it's bright, right? In a dark night. So that means her face is beautiful. Instead of saying beautiful, you are comparing her face with the moon. Yes, excellent. Clouds look like boiling milk. Okay, wow. Yeah, that's cool. You guys are using your intelligence, I will say. Yes. You got it? Yes. So comparison is vital. Yes. You need a comparison in two things. So when you said you are like an intelligent woman, you did not compare me with anything, right? Yes, it's a good practice. I like it that you wrote down, and now you know that you have to use two things when you are comparing something, right? That, in other words, I will say two nouns. Okay, you have to compare in between two nouns when you are comparing something. Okay, yes. Okay, the next one. I know I like to explain a lot because the way I teach is it should stick in your mind. Okay, the next example is the poodle dog's fur, right? Or you can say coat, or you can say hair. So the reason I have these two extra words in the parentheses, that means you can use any word. You can say poodle dog's hair, or you can say poodle dog's coat or fur was as dark as the night sky. So the night sky is very dark. So the simile suggests that the cat, not cat's fur, dog's fur is also very dark, right? So dog's fur or dog's hair, right? Or dog's coat is also very dark. Okay, now we're gonna move on to the next slide. Okay, now it's your turn. I want you to just write down quickly. Summer sun is as hot as oven. So I want you to just tell me the two things are being compared in this simile. Write down quickly. Mohan is jumping in on the ground, Shiva Bhatti, on the ground like a monkey. Yes, so Mohan is compared with monkey. Excellent. He suddenly get angry like a Shani Maharaj. Okay. Okay. Yes, excellent. Okay. So come on, write down quickly. Summer sun is as hot as oven. Summer sun is as hot as oven. What's being compared in this example? Quickly write down. Yes, sun and oven. Yes. Yes, because they both are hot. Yes. Oven. Okay. The next one. Let's see. The next one is her hands are as cold as ice. Her hands are as cold as ice. Come on, let's see. Her hands are as cold as ice. He's as affectionate as my father. Okay. Yes. So Sandeep, I want you to answer here, please. Sun and oven and. Sun and oven. Yes. Hands and ice. Okay. So hands are compared with ice. Priyanka Rawat, no. Cold and ice, no, no, no. Hand, yes. Hands are compared with ice because hands are what? Hands are cold, right? So hands are compared with ice. Excellent. Okay. MD Alauddin, ma'am, please explain in Hindi also. Okay, MD Alauddin, simile वो होती है जब आप किसी दो चीजों को कंपेयर करते हो बट वो सेम नहीं होती, वो अलग होती हैं. तो जैसे कि हमने यहाँ पे एक एग्जाम्पल दी थी कि जो सूरज है, सूर्य राइट, सूरज है वो एक तरह से आप कह लो जैसे अवन या अंगीठी, अगर आपको अंगीठी का पता है तो वो उस तरह से गर्म है, हॉट है, राइट. तो उनका कंपैरिजन, जो सूरज का कंपैरिजन किससे हो रहा है? अंगीठी के साथ हो रहा है, बिकॉज वो दोनों ही हॉट हैं. तो जब हम सिमिली यूज करते हैं तो हम लाइक और एज को यूज करके कंपैरिजन करते हैं, दो चीजों को आपस में उनका कंपैरिजन करते हैं. मीन्स के वो दोनों कैसे एक सी लगती हैं, एक सी कैसे हैं वो, या वो हैं वो डिफरेंट पर वो एक सी लगती हैं. ओके. यस, हर हैंड्स आर कोल्डर देन आइस. No, okay. Imran Hassan, when you are saying her hands are colder than ice, that's not simile. That is not a simile. This one is the lesson I taught you on last my Zoom session here was when we were comparing comparative degrees, right? Something is more than something, right? So here you are saying colder than ice, that means you are, it's colder than ice. It's not a simile. Okay. Sunita ma'am is as affectionate as my mother. Okay, yes, okay. Can you speak Hindi as a real Indian? पता नहीं, मैं कोशिश कर सकती हूँ, पर मैं ज़्यादा हिंदी बोलती नहीं हूँ, इसलिए मेरी हिंदी का हो सकता है आप कहीं मजाक उड़ाओ, तो मैं कम ही बोलती हूँ, right? And moreover, my point is, I am here to teach you English, so I will say it's better to listen more English if you want to speak in English, okay? Yes. American slang words, but you didn't make, I did. Wow, Ajay, I made that video for you and you did not bother to check that. And I made that slang video with my daughter and her friend. You will not see them, but you're gonna hear their voice because they were not comfortable to be visible on the camera. So I was like, okay, but we did that. I made the video American slangs and I used about, I didn't even remember, but we used many slangs in that video. So you need to check my playlist. Okay. Okay, next one. Let's move on to the next one quickly because some of you like to move on quickly. He's as clever as a fox. He's as clever as a fox. Quickly, come on. I will give you 30 seconds. If you can answer what's being compared here. So he is as clever as a fox. You know, fox is very clever, right? And it's famous. And there are many stories in India about fox, right? The fox is clever. I hope you know many stories about fox in India, right? The fox and the grapes. And then there was another one where the crow was, he had a piece of cheese and the fox was kind of like persuading him to drop that cheese so she can eat it, right? He's compared with fox. Yes, the boy, the man, right, is compared with the fox because he's clever. Okay. Ashwini played like a tiger in the hockey game. So now you know. I hope you know this, right? So I don't think so. We will need more. We need more practice. But here, this one now. Now, Vishal, I'm going to answer your question here. I actually gave you the answer in this one because this was kind of like a little practice. But in coming days, I can come up with many quizzes. That's what I'm planning. I'm going to give you many quizzes where you will be answering right here on the live sessions, okay? But this one, it says determine the meanings of similes. So I just have one example here today. What is the meaning of the following simile? I was trying to find my missing sock or a cap or a glove was like looking for a needle in a haystack. So haystack, I was not sure if you all know the haystack. I know you, if you look at this picture, it's very clear to you, but I think I have a big picture maybe on the next slide. Yes, here, I have a big picture. You can see this is a hay. इंडिया में इसको आप शायद पता नहीं क्या कहते हो, पंजाब में तो इसको क्या कहते हैं, तूड़ी कहते हैं मेरा ख्याल, बट आप पता नहीं क्या कहते हो इसको, बट इट्स अ haystack, ओके? पराली भी कहते हैं इसको पंजाबी में, मुझे याद आ गया, बट मुझे, और हिंदी में इसको क्या कहते हैं आई डोंट नो, आपको पता होगा शायद. So this one, so the simile is I was trying to find my missing sock or cap or glove because these things, sock, अब sock क्या है, एक जैसे socks है जिसको आप जराबें कहते हो, जराबें हिंदी में, socks are two, right? It's a pair. When you talk about pair, it's a socks. And when I'm talking about pair, let me tell you, jean, you don't say jean, you say jeans, pair of jeans. That means it's only one, right? Pair of jeans is only one jean. Pair of shoes is, yes, there are two, but it's a one. When you count it as a set, it's like a one set, right? So same thing is a pair of socks. So when you are talking about one, it's a sock, okay? So sock. Yes, bhusa, excellent. Yes, now I remember that. Sock is very small in this haystack, right? Right, zurab. Yes, sock is zurab, right? So it means it's something is impossible to find, right? And even if you were in my live Zoom session last week, I think we did that activity when we were learning a one poem, and she doesn't take the garbage out, and there was so much garbage in the house. So that is also, if you are looking for something in a hoarder's house, especially, you know, hoarders are the people, those, they just keep hoarding the things. They do not throw away the trash. Not only trash, they do not throw away the old things, and they just keep collecting everything. And there is actually a very famous show about hoarders also. And if they want to find something, it's not going to be easy to find anything in that house, right? Because there is so much stuff. So same thing is, it's nearly impossible to find something. That means when you compare, that is the meaning. So here I'm telling you, when you are identifying something, so what we were doing here in the previous slides, we were just identifying. If, like for this one, like Ashwini played like a tiger in the hockey game, so Ashwini is compared with a tiger. So all other figurative languages, what we were practicing so far was mostly about identification, right? So you were just identifying it. Identifying means you were just उनको ढूंढ रहे थे, आपके कौन सी चीज को किसके साथ compare किया गया है. That's it. So that is a basic skill. So that is in the beginning level skill, I will say. But when you determine the meaning and then you analyze the meaning, so then it's just go on the higher level. So I know it's very challenging sometimes to identify the figurative language and to analyze the figurative language, because I will say, most of the time when you analyze the figurative language, you put yourself in that situation. It's because it's an imagery, right? So you imagine very critically, or so that's a higher level skill. Okay. Okay, the next one, as you know, we're going to talk about metaphor. Metaphor is very simple because it is also a comparison, right? But we don't use. The only difference in metaphor is that when we compare two things, we do not use like or as. Very simple. It is also a comparison, but it is, what is the keyword here? Without using like or as. So keep in mind, metaphor, you do not use like or as. That's metaphor. So for example, her heart is gold, right? So instead of saying her heart is like a gold, or I can say her heart is as shining as gold, I will just say her heart is gold. I'm still comparing heart with gold, right? But I'm not using like or as. Okay? You understand? Yes. But Vishal, it's not hard. It's very easy. We will do it. Now, let's practice. In this game of life, your family is the court and the ball is your heart. No matter how good you are, no matter how down you get, always leave your heart on the court. So let's see if you can, first of all, I want you to tell me what are the two things being compared in this metaphor. What are the two? This is a little bit on a higher level, I will say, because this one is, I took this piece from a novel or from somewhere, right? So that's what I want you to identify this. His behavior is diamond. Okay, so behavior is diamond, that means very good. Okay, so in this game of life, your family is the court and the ball is your heart. So what do you think? Ball and heart. So in this game of life, your family is the court and the ball is your heart. So what is two things compared? Two things. Family and court, ball and heart. That is interesting. Family and heart, family and court, family and ball. Okay, let's see. Anyone else? Is there anyone else still there? Okay, guys, before I can move on, if you didn't subscribe to the channel, and also please press the like button also if you like this session, because you know it always encouraged me to make more videos. So think about it. Okay, we're going to do this in parts because this one is a little hard. So it says, in this game of life. Yes, I will, Ajay. I will do it. Okay, so that means you do not watch my all videos. That's the problem, because you just are looking for shortcuts in life, shortcuts in language learning also. That's what I will say, because I have about 300 video lessons. If you go with that, all the lessons, and practice with it, I am sure you will be improving your English. But I don't know, some of you are doing it very seriously. I can see that, and you are noticing the improvement, but some of you are looking for shortcuts, okay? I'm sorry if you don't like it, but that's the reality. Okay. Okay, so yes, cool. In this game of life, your family is the court, right? So the family is compared with what? Court. Family is compared with court, and the ball is your heart. So your heart is compared with what? Your heart is compared with ball. So here the comparison is separate. The family compared with court, and your heart individually, heart is compared with the ball. Okay, no matter how good you are, no matter how down you get, always leave your heart on the court. So that means your heart is always in the court. So if you see, I'm going to change the color. So heart is green here, right? I'm going to change let's make it blue then. So family is the court, right? And the ball is your heart. So the heart and ball. So the ball is I will say, let's make it the blue one. And then, so the ball is your heart. So no matter how good you are, no matter how down you get, you always leave your heart on the court. So this heart, let's see, this heart and court. I'm just changing the colors. So I don't know. So here, if anyone can analyze this, let's see how you can analyze this. Is there anyone can analyze this? Sehreen, next time, if you will join my Zoom session, you need to make sure that no one is talking in the back end, because you will keep turning on your, you were unmuting yourself and there was so much noise at your home. You didn't see that, but I had to delete so much video, like my lesson, because there was so much disturbance. Okay, I'm sorry about that, but you have to make sure when you are on Zoom, you do not, like, I know you cannot control the talking at the back end, but you can control that button where it says unmute. Okay, and I was unmuting you, you will keep muting yourself, and there was so much disturbance at the back end and we were not able to concentrate. Yes. And I do that for many, if there is so much disturbance, and because it's a big distraction, I will say. Okay, I'm very pleased to have you in my sessions, but at the same time, we need to maintain the silence in the session because everyone is learning and practicing. Okay, yes. So I hope anyone can analyze this. Let's see. So that means what? Let's see if someone can analyze this, because this is a little bit higher level analyzation of this metaphor in this game of life. So the life is compared with which game? Any game. You can say cricket, or you can, I know here it's baseball is more common, but in India it's cricket, where you have a court and the ball, right? So the life is compared with the game, right? So life is compared with a game, right? First of all, the game of life. So the life is compared with game. So in the game, what is more important? The court and the ball. So in life, what is more important? Family and your feelings towards your family, right? So same thing is, no matter how good you are, no matter how down you get, always leave your heart on the court. So no matter whatever the situations are, right, you always get attracted to your family, right? Because family is like that. Yes, because family is very important in our life. That's what it is. Okay. Now, so I think for today, it was enough to do the comparison. So today we did the two figurative languages, right? So two figurative languages, simile and metaphor. And in our next lesson, we will be learning two or maybe more than two. It all depends on, I will say, like onomatopoeia is very easy. Okay. Yes, I will say alliterations are also pretty easy, but sometimes students get confused with the personification and hyperbole. So we might gonna use all four tomorrow, and we will be practicing, I hope, tomorrow. Okay, so, and then I will be uploading some of the lessons just separately with the figurative language, so you can practice. Okay, so again, please do not mind. I try to understand about the Zoom sessions. You all are equal for me. First of all, I do not have any favorite students. You all are my favorite English language learners. But again, if you are joining my session, maintain the discipline in the session, please. And noise is the biggest issue. And then, yes, many of you are having a problem with your internet connection also, right? And the one more thing is, I am sending many of you the emails, but some of you are still saying you are not receiving my emails. I will say, check your Shiva Bhatti, I think I sent you the invitation a lot of time because your name is very familiar to me, and you need to check your spam like an email in a spam folder also, because I have no clue. I know your name and I know this email also. So your email is not new to me. So please try to check when I send you the message, because many of you are writing here and I know these emails because I am the one who typed the emails sometime, and I can easily see that it sounds familiar to me. Like when I see the email, yes, I know this email or I know this person. So Shiva Bhatti, I sent you the invitation. You need to check, but those invitations are not valid anymore anyways, because those invitations were for last sessions. I will try to send you the invitation again, but you have to be responsible, okay? Yes, I mean, yes, and your side was fine too. Most of you are taking care of it. And when you speak, that's the time you unmute yourself. That's the only thing we need to keep in mind. Okay, any other question? And again, if you didn't like my lesson, please like it and share it with maximum friends and your family, because we need to grow. Okay, bigger. The more we're gonna grow, the more video lessons will be coming, right? Because that will give me the motivation. So it's not only about me, it's about everyone, right? Okay, so, okay guys, then I will say, I will see you next time. Have a nice day and stay blessed. Thank you.